So talk about Sentinel policy as code. So Praveen,
Yes.
would you like to take this? Yeah.
Yes. So Selvi, see what DevOps is doing, right? We are trying to stop the wrong code or the bad code or the code which can bring down the cost of your application, right? So what we are doing, right? This cost is indirect, right? Indirectly proportional, right, to your project. If the cost is more, the project billing and everything will be down, right? So what we are trying to do, we are trying to make sure like your project cost is very much safe hands, and that's where DevOps come in. So Sentinel is again a policy which we integrate into the code, right? Various tools are there to check in your code whether that is bug free, vulnerability free, whether your code is having some attacks, whether it might have attack if you don't make your code undergo through this tool, right? So we have check marks, we have black duck. So what we do, right, we add the Sentinel policy and we make sure, right, these policies are to be applied on this code, and if any issues comes in this code now, it will stop your pipeline. Now what you will do, you will tell to the development team, or you have already automated in the pipeline, one email will go to the development team stating this piece of code has errors or bugs, please fix that. Then only you as a DevOps engineer will allow it to the production or dev, right? So that's how the power of this policy is coming.
Yep. Wonderful, wonderful answer, Praveen. I really like that you touched upon that point where you prevent wrong code from going all the way into production and so on.
Yes.
Something very synonymous to this is, Selvi, if at all someone in your team is doing 0.0.0.0/0 on a security group, prevent that. And you prevent that by doing something like Sentinel, which is policy as code. And there are so many different policy as codes kind of tools out there. When you work with something like Kubernetes, you have open policy agent, and it ensures that you write your own policy as YAML files, which would also ensure that you don't talk to so many different repositories out there, except for your corporate repository from where you download Docker images, because everyone can download something from Docker Hub, probably put in some penetrating code into your system onto your nodes, and probably uh, you know uh, go ahead and attack your Kubernetes cluster and so on. So you write all of these as probably YAML files, but when it comes to Sentinel, it's included as part of your Terraform cloud package. You can go ahead and add all of your Sentinel policies and run them right before you do your Terraform apply. You can do it on your Terraform plan and between your Terraform apply kind of stages. And you also have so many other ones which also test the security of it. So Praveen mentioned something in regards to black duck, Coverity, as well as check marks, and then you have Veracode and so on. All these are part of your pipeline that you can integrate. These all come under SAST, which is static analysis security testing. And then you have SCA, which is software composition analysis, where you check each and every dependency in your code for any kind of vulnerabilities with your national vulnerability database, NVD, and whatnot. And then you have DAST, which is dynamic analysis of your security testing, which includes hitting your APIs, which we go to back to the start, which is REST APIs. You hit your APIs and so on. Yeah. And you find out any kind of vulnerabilities like XML or probably HTTP or something in regards to cross-site scripting, SQL injection, and whatnot. So all these things you'll probably find out in DAST. So your ideal pipeline, again, coming back to that point, your ideal pipeline should be something which not only has CI and CD, it should also have continuous security, continuous notification. So continuous notification is something very important, which again comes back to Praveen's point, writing something like chatbots or probably integrating with Slack, integrating with Teams, giving the right notification at the right point of time with the visibility that this is the place that your pipeline has failed and so on. So that this is all about DevOps. Anything and everything in the cloud and DevOps space, this is all about DevOps. You do all these things just to ensure that your organization or you follow the best practices, and anyone who onboards onto your team could probably crack really nice organizations because they have already learned all of this.